You have probably felt that sinking feeling in your stomach. It happens when you check your savings account after a long month. You see a number that feels disappointingly small. It almost feels like all your effort was for nothing. You might even question the entire point of saving money at all. There is a common belief in personal finance that is completely wrong. People think that building wealth is a straight, linear process. They imagine that saving each new dollar is just as hard as the last one. But the truth is far more interesting and much more encouraging. There is a specific financial mountain that feels almost impossible to climb. For most people, that mountain is their first $10,000. The surprising secret is what happens after you reach the summit. Saving the next $100,000 is not 10 times harder. In fact, it is significantly easier. This sounds like a paradox that defies basic mathematics. How could a smaller amount be more difficult to achieve than a much larger one? The answer lies not in spreadsheets, but deep inside your own brain. My name is Saul, and I dedicate my time to understanding financial psychology. I explore why some people build wealth with ease, while others struggle indefinitely. If you want to understand the hidden mechanics of money, you are in the right place. Be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if it provides you with a new perspective. Now, let us dismantle this financial mystery piece by piece. When you are starting from zero, you are not just fighting a financial battle. You are fighting a fierce psychological war against yourself. Every single dollar you save feels like an immediate, painful sacrifice. That money could have been a nice dinner out with friends. It might have been a new gadget you have been wanting for months. It could have been a small vacation to escape the daily grind. Instead, you are choosing to send that money into a savings account. There, it seems to do almost nothing at all. Your brain, which is wired for immediate rewards, hates this process. Psychologists call this the pain of paying, but it is also the pain of saving. You are giving up a present comfort for an abstract future benefit. This requires an immense amount of willpower and mental energy. Think about it like trying to start a fire by rubbing two sticks together. The initial effort is exhausting and feels completely fruitless. You are creating friction and heat, but you see no flame for a long time. This is the stage where almost everyone gives up. They decide the effort is not worth the lack of visible progress. That first $10,000 is your financial kindling. It is the hardest part of the entire process because you have no momentum. You are working against financial inertia and your own psychological wiring. Every decision is a constant battle between your present self and your future self. Now let us look at the cold, hard mathematics of the situation. The power of compound interest is often called the eighth wonder of the world. However, in the beginning, it feels more like a boring science lecture. Imagine you have managed to save $1,000. You invest it wisely and get a solid 8% return for the year. You have successfully earned $80. While that is certainly better than nothing, it is not life-changing. It does not feel like your money is working very hard for you at all. This minimal return can be incredibly demotivating for new savers. It reinforces the feeling that your sacrifices are not paying off. The journey feels like an incredibly slow and arduous crawl. But let us fast forward to the moment you cross that $10,000 threshold. Suddenly, the math begins to look completely different. That same 8% return on $10,000 is $800. Now we are talking about a significant amount of money. $800 can cover a car payment for a month or two. It could pay for a plane ticket to a new destination. It represents real, tangible value that you earned without lifting a finger. This is the point where you start to feel the magic of compounding. Your money is no longer just sitting there. It has started to generate its own meaningful income stream. This creates a powerful psychological shift in your mindset. Saving no longer feels like a pure sacrifice. It begins to feel like a strategic investment in a machine that prints money. The journey from $0 to $10,000 is not just a financial task. It is a complete overhaul of your personal habits and behaviors. To save that money, you had to learn skills that school never teaches. You likely had to create your very first budget. You had to track where every single dollar was going each month. You were forced to identify and cut out unnecessary expenses. You had to learn to say no to impulse purchases. You had to develop the discipline to pay yourself first. These actions are the fundamental building blocks of financial success. They are also incredibly difficult to implement from scratch. You are literally rewiring the neural pathways in your brain. You are breaking years, or even decades, of old financial habits. This process is mentally and emotionally draining. However, once these new habits are firmly established, they become automatic. You no longer have to think consciously about tracking your expenses. Saving a portion of your income becomes a natural, effortless reflex. By the time you have saved $10,000, you are a different person. You are the type of person who is in control of their money. Saving the next $100,000 does not require learning new skills. It simply requires the consistent application of the skills you already mastered. You have already done the hardest work by building the foundation. Now, all you have to do is continue building on top of it. Another crucial factor is the concept of a financial safety net. When you have little to no savings, your brain operates in survival mode. Every financial decision is clouded by fear and anxiety. An unexpected medical bill can feel like a financial death sentence. A sudden car repair can throw your entire budget into chaos. You are living on the edge, one emergency away from disaster. This constant stress makes it impossible to think long-term. Your entire mental bandwidth is consumed by surviving until the next paycheck. But something amazing happens when you have $10,000 saved. That money acts as a buffer between you and life's uncertainties. The fear of a minor financial emergency begins to dissolve. You can finally breathe and take a step back from the brink. This newfound security frees up an incredible amount of mental space. Instead of constantly worrying about survival, you can start thinking about growth. You can begin to look for opportunities instead of just avoiding threats. You might consider investing in a course to improve your career skills. You could start a small side business with minimal financial risk. You have the freedom to make decisions based on opportunity, not desperation. This shift is perhaps the most powerful benefit of your first $10,000. It changes your relationship with work and your career trajectory. When you are living paycheck to paycheck, you are in a weak negotiating position. You are less likely to ask for a raise you deserve. You are afraid to leave a toxic work environment. You feel trapped because you need the income to survive. Your employer, consciously or not, holds all the power in the relationship. But $10,000 in the bank changes that dynamic completely. You now have what is often called walking away money. You know that you could survive for several months without a job if necessary. This knowledge gives you a profound sense of confidence. You start to carry yourself differently at work. You are more willing to speak up, take calculated risks, and advocate for yourself. You can negotiate for a higher salary with the confidence that you will be fine either way. You can start looking for better job opportunities without the pressure of desperation. This confidence often leads to significant increases in your income. A higher income, in turn, allows you to accelerate your savings rate dramatically. The path to the next $100,000 becomes a much faster journey. Let us put this into a practical timeline to see the acceleration. Imagine you are saving $500 every single month. You are also earning a conservative 7% annual return on your investments. To get from $0 to $10,000, it will take you approximately 18 months. That is a year and a half of consistent, disciplined effort. Now, let us see how long it takes to get your second $10,000. The journey from $10,000 to $20,000 takes only 16 months. You shaved 2 full months off the process. You did the exact same thing, saving $500 a month. The difference was that your initial $10,000 was working alongside you. It was generating its own returns and speeding up the process. The path to your third $10,000 takes even less time. This is the snowball effect beginning to roll down the hill. Now, let us consider the journey from $10,000 to $110,000. This is the $100,000 goal we have been discussing. This larger sum does not take 18 months multiplied by 10. That would be 180 months, or 15 years. Instead, with the same savings rate and return, it takes less than 10 years. Your savings are doing more and more of the heavy lifting for you. The initial push to get the snowball moving was the hardest part. Once it is rolling, it gathers more snow and speed on its own. This is why the first $10,000 feels like an uphill climb in the mud. The next $100,000 feels like a downhill ride on a paved road. There is also a significant shift in how you perceive large purchases. Before you had savings, a $3,000 expense seemed insurmountable. It might represent several months of your entire income. The thought of saving that much money felt exhausting. But once you have $10,000, your perspective changes. You understand that saving a few $1,000s is achievable. You have a proven track record of doing it successfully. This confidence allows you to plan for larger financial goals. You can start thinking seriously about a down payment on a house. You can plan for a major renovation or a significant investment. The mental barrier associated with large numbers has been broken. Wealthy individuals often talk about how money goes to money. This is not some secret conspiracy. It is a simple reality based on the opportunities that capital provides. With $10,000, you can take advantage of small investment opportunities. Perhaps a friend is starting a business and needs a small seed investment. Maybe a unique opportunity appears in the stock market after a downturn. Without that initial capital, these opportunities are invisible to you. You can see them, but you are unable to act on them. Having a financial foundation allows you to put your money to work in new ways. This creates additional streams of income beyond your primary job. These streams then further accelerate your journey to $100,000. It is a positive feedback loop that builds on itself over time. The first $10,000 is also a powerful proof of concept. It is the evidence that you provide to yourself that you can achieve your goals. Before you start, saving a large sum of money is just a theory. You hope you can do it, but you have no real evidence to support that belief. The process is filled with self-doubt and uncertainty. Every small setback can feel like a reason to quit. But when you finally see $10,000 in your account, everything shifts. You are no longer just hoping. You know you can do it. You have tangible, undeniable proof of your own capability. This self-belief is an incredibly valuable asset. It fuels your motivation to continue on your financial journey. It makes it easier to resist temptation and stay disciplined. You have created a new identity for yourself as someone who is good with money. This identity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let us not forget the role of lifestyle inflation. This is the tendency to increase your spending as your income grows. It is the single biggest obstacle for most people trying to build wealth. The struggle to save your first $10,000 is a powerful teacher. It forces you to live below your means and be intentional with your spending. You learn to find happiness and fulfillment without constantly buying new things. These lessons are invaluable. Once you have them, you are less likely to fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. As your income increases later in your career, you will not automatically upgrade your lifestyle. Instead, you will be more inclined to increase your savings rate. This is the secret ingredient that separates the wealthy from the middle class. They maintain their frugal habits even when they can afford not to. This discipline, forged in the fires of saving your first $10,000, serves you for life. So, if you are currently struggling to save that first significant amount, do not despair. Understand that you are doing the most difficult work right now. You are not just saving money, you are building habits. You are not just building habits, you are building confidence. You are not just building confidence, you are building a new identity. The process is supposed to feel slow and difficult at the beginning. That is the nature of building something truly valuable from scratch. Every dollar you save is a victory against your old self. Every month you stay on track is a step towards a new future. The first $10,000 is the price of admission to a much easier game. It is the barrier that keeps most people out of the world of serious wealth building. Once you break through that barrier, the entire landscape changes in your favor. The math starts working for you, not against you. Your habits become your allies, not your enemies. Opportunities begin to appear where none existed before. Remember that the journey is not linear, it is exponential. The beginning is flat and slow, but the curve eventually turns sharply upwards. Focus on conquering that first mountain, that initial $10,000. Trust me, the view from the top is worth the climb, and the journey to the next peak will feel like a walk in the park.